Beat the game. I'm Damouseofink I. Come traverse Oblivion with me. You can follow me on Twitch. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook business page, X, and on YouTube. Oh, TikTok, Damouseofink ESO. Right? ESO should give it away. Let's hop into this. First things first, I'm going to take about 10 minutes to talk about everything. So, of each thing till the end of this video. You've got about an hour. Buckle up. I'm going to start with sentimental value. In 2006, I don't know if you guys remember where you were, but I remember, I think it was a summer night. And we had a wonderful school year, me and my siblings that were older than me. And I have a sibling that was younger, but this is the birth year of that sibling. So the two older siblings, that night we were going to pick up video games. And we picked up 3 very awesome video games that would go on for generations. One was mine, Shadow Colossus. 2 was my middle brother, but still older than me, Resident Evil 4. And then 3, oh man, 3 would take the cake. Oblivion. The Elder Scrolls 4. My eldest brother was the one that picked this game out. And religiously, we would play video games, and watch my oldest brother sometimes. That was just something we did. And this game changed our lives so much that the 3 of us, for the first time, each had our own consoles. And it is no easy feat as a parent. Now, I can tell you this, and this is what's so shocking about how long it took this game to come out. I'm a parent now, and I've gone through 6 Nintendo Switches with my children. And 7. And I tell you what, between the Red Rings of Death and all that other stuff, I could have never afforded what my parents did for us. To have 360s, 3 of them, and then a 4th one that was on the road with my father, because he was he was a car hauler, so he traveled a lot and still does. So he's always had a mobile console on him. So you can't imagine between that and the Red Rings of Death, how much money that is. So this game, I know parents of older millennials was feeling the heat when Oblivion came out, because that era of consoles was magical. And this era of consoles is magical. And it was obviously the perfect time. The technology is here now for them to switch up things. Now, another sentimental value to it is we all sat there at Burger King and we talked that night over the pamphlets, and we got home and we all went to our rooms and we separated for that time. We all went to go enjoy our games. That was such a magical time. The other sentimental thing that holds weight to me in value, with Oblivion specifically, is it helped build my identity. I was a very, I don't know if you'd say, because I've always been outgoing, but it can be perceived like taking kindness for weakness is gullibility. And I'm really just a nice person, is what it is. But Oblivion brought out other pieces of my personality that, let's just say, I hadn't unlocked until I played it, until I opened up that guidebook and I spent my first summer playing it like hell. I'm talking about the weeks leading up to school being out. I was literally playing hooky, acting sick to stay out of school, to stay home, to play Oblivion. All right? It really, I didn't care about people's opinions anymore so much as I was getting to know myself, the things I like, dislike. And that is the true beauty in the game. So when I say the game has a vibe, that is what I'm referring to. The game will bring out your individuality. It forces you to go about your own way, as the emperor would say. And I remember when I graduated from high school, my middle brother, the one that got the Resident Evil 4 in my graduation card, because he actually was taking me to go pick up Pokemon Heart Gold and Silver in the pink DS Lite, the first version of it, because I graduated in 2013. So, and had I known that I was going to get a car 2 days later, I would have not did that. I would have saved my money for gas, because boy, going to work got expensive. But that's the sentimental value in this game, guys. Is it's been around through boyfriends, through vehicles. Now my marriage and my children. I have a child that also plays Oblivion. It plays the old one. And we're a Skyrim household. We're an ESO household. So this runs deep Virtuous. So giving you the keys or the push start. This is more like the push start. Like I feel like Morrowind was the manual. I feel like Oblivion, the original, was the turnkey. Skyrim will say was the push start, but this shit right here is the Tesla. This shit can drive itself. And that is an issue. The AI alone is very scary in these faces. It makes wonky, frightening faces. Sometimes the high elves or elves in general just look faded. I don't know how to explain it other than when you see it. You'll know what I'm talking about. And I'm not making fun of it. This is classic Oblivion stuff that everyone is going to be talking about for years to come. Trust me, 10 years down the road, somebody, somewhere in the world is going to be discovering Oblivion, just like children have been discovering it and adults have been discovering it. I remember going into GameStop with my mom to get Shivering Isles expansion, the physical copy. Yes, that's how long I've been around. And I get the physical copy, and I remember the guy, because of my age, is like, ma'am, do you realize that that dead children are in this game? And obviously he's referring to the Night Mother's children, which is a gruesome tale in itself, but fuck off, GameStop employee. Are you really stifling creativity? Are you really stifling a kid getting the understanding and the scared fucking straight they need through a video game versus going out here and getting the scared straight they need in the world? Because I tell you what, if I would have played a lot more Oblivion, I'd have stayed out of a lot more fucking trouble. I'll tell you that. If I go back and tell myself anything, I'd be like, listen, kid, go to work and play ESO. Don't do anything else. But then again, I wouldn't be the tattoo artist I am, and I probably would have never left my second hometown. We'll put it that way, because I wasn't born there. But I grew up there. Now, initially, playing this game, I felt like all of these measures and these expectations that I have was met. But at the same time, I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from, because I don't want you to think that I'm giving these critiques lightly. Oblivion was my perfect pastime. I used to babysit my sister for like 6 hours straight and would rock her on my knee when she was an infant, and I would play Oblivion. When I come home from school and I would do my homework, my incentive to do my homework was you might get your 360 taken and you won't be able to play Oblivion. It was all about Oblivion. There was one other game that I had gotten and requested for Christmas, and that was Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge was the only other game that could get me off of Oblivion. Other than Sims couldn't even do it. I would try to frequent herbs and do all that, but Sims couldn't take me back either. Pokemon couldn't do it. Heart Gold and Silver, I remember when I purchased the DS on the afternoon of my graduation. It was just like, it was very childish in comparison to what I had experienced in Oblivion. In fact, that's why I wasn't going out and branching out and playing a whole bunch of other games, because Oblivion was life. It was. I did beat other games. There was other stuff on the gamer score, but Oblivion was definitely life. I remember my tone changed as well from that year. I think I would have been on the trajectory of possibly any other ordinary black girl, getting into fights. My grades, I wasn't stupid. My grades were always B's, A's, C's, high B's. So it really wasn't a factor of like, oh, she's stupid. That would have been the thing. But I think I just would have been less creative, less innovative. And I feel for people that didn't experience it then. But what I'm telling you is you have a chance to experience it now. And not only that, you have a chance to experience it on this engine. And this engine is pretty incredible. I will say it's cookie cutter. If I'm going to be indefinite, I'm just going to drop it on y'all. It's cookie cutter. But now we're going to go by basis of organization, chronological order. So now I'm going to tell you each part of my Elder Scrolls experience in Oblivion Remastered. Just remember those sentimental values when I grade it. I'm coming from a place of a person that really plays it. I'm coming from, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. I wrote a letter to Todd Howard when I was a little kid. Yes, I did. I wrote a letter to Bethesda Softworks, and that's when I ended up finding out that they was from my real hometown. They're from Maryland. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I think that they were located in Rockville at that time. But I wrote a letter to Todd Howard. And Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 at the time were also very... If you want to know what got me from Oblivion, it was like I would switch up. I would go from Fallout to Oblivion, Mirror's Edge, Fallout to Oblivion, Oblivion, Skyrim, Oblivion, Mirror's Edge, Halo. And I would just bounce. I would bounce, anything that was pretty much on console. I didn't have Xbox Live 2. I forgot to mention that. Gears of War was another one that had me. I personally... I couldn't play online with people that I played with once we got into high school, like people that play the same video games as me. But the best part of Oblivion was it's a solo game. I love when people tell me, well, who are you playing with? The NPCs, bitch. The computer. I'm not trying to sound funny. If it ain't World of Warcraft and it ain't Elder Scrolls Online, I'm really not feeling it. If it ain't Phantasy Star, I'm really not feeling it. People tried to push me towards that Call of Duty manner of games, first-person shooters. I just didn't understand it at the time. COD and the language people use. I've always said that it's not the game, it's the gamers. You have people that play Spyro, and they'll go shoot up a school, and then they'll say, "Well, I played Spyro when I was a kid, so that must have been the situation." And I'm not basing that off of race or anything or any particular person, but that is a real person that really did that. So people will always say video games are too violent, this, and that. I'm gonna let you know, this is a very violent video game. Even Umbra, that sword that everyone's freaking out over, if you pick up the books, if you're ever in Barnes and Nobles, pick up the books, check out the fantasy, and check out the Elder Scrolls selection. There's 2 chapter books, in which I think it's called Umbro, the actual island that Umbra came from. But that story is sick alone. It has slaves underneath a floating island, Aragonian slaves, okay? And the island is like powered by food. I think it's insane if you really go deep lore diving book-wise. But man, oh man, like there's some dark stories, okay? And I'm not gonna spoil anything for you. Like I said, this is an adventure you need to have on your own for once. For once in your life, step the fuck out there on your own. Step in the paint and handle it. So this next part is going to be broken down into segments by race, birth sign, class, level, attributes, major and minor skills, factions, and the details about my character so you can better understand where we are here in 2025. So I chose to play a Breton. That's what I beat the game with originally. Usually, like on ESO, my main is a red guard. In Skyrim, I prefer to play an orc. That's just how I am. I play different playstyles for different ESO or test games. In this case, the Breton for me worked because I wanted to be a shadow mage, which is also my original created class. You have the choice of creating your class. This is what I mean by some people might go off of what Boreas gives them. Some people might make a custom class. My birth sign is the Thief. I like the Thief for what it fortifies. My agility, luck, and speed. Having 10 bonus of luck is awesome. My level is 33. My magicka is 289, fortified. Health is 576, and my fatigue is 477. Now, I have plenty of time to continue building my character, and that's the reason that I wanted to be this level, doing the miscellaneous quests by this time, and how I beat the game the way I did, is because I want to farm the best of the best gear to be able to show off and get fancy. So check out my Twitch, because over there, it's gonna get nasty. Don't try to test me, it's gonna get messy. All right, next is attributes. My attributes are all fortified, but they're all either 100 or close to 100. So I'm just going to give you the fortified numbers. Strength 131, intelligence 112, willpower 123, agility 112, speed 110, endurance 108, personality 117, luck 181. Strength is important because one, is going to affect how you use swords, maces, battle axes, war hammers, really cool gear that it's just going to look great in first person. It's going to look great on your back or sheathed on your side. And it's also affects like how much you can carry, your maximum health. Over encumbrance is a legendary bug of the Elder Scrolls, which they healthily fix by still letting you at least walk. Which helps if you have, again, that alteration spell that you see in the bottom left corner. Very important to have that when you're farming. That's another skill that you can farm, alteration, during your armor skill farm. So that's 7 or 8 skills that can be farmed instantly that will attribute to strength. Intelligence. Now, this is important because I'm a shadow mage, right? It determines your maximum amount of magicka, allowing you to cast the most powerful spells. So if you guys are wondering why I'm going around zapping people, one, it's because I'm smart and the game's on novice. That's the only way you're going to beat the game as fast as I beat it in 3 days or 73 hours. Yeah. But this also affects, like, again, those end game spells that cost a lot of your septums from the Arcane University and the Mages Guild, or spells that you can get from in the Shivering Isles, your conjuration spells. It's all going to affect what you can summon, your duration time. Some spells need long duration time. Some spells need a wide cast area. That's going to require a lot of magicka. If you are a huge magicka buff, which I think I might make a whole high elf for another playthrough, because the magic is just astounding in this game, and I can only imagine how much magic you can really get up to. But we'll get this character up to, like, we're gonna get this character up to a crazy level once I do a level hack. But your intelligence is very important in garnering any of your magical skills. My willpower is 123, so this is heavily fortified. The highest, actually, of all of my attributes, because it determines how quickly my magic comes back to me. This helps for instant casting, constant casting. Of course you have it. If you go to Frostcrag Spire and you are one to make your spells, or you have access to the Arcane University, if you're perhaps like me, you're the Archmage, you can easily have access to making your own spells and your own enchantments, so that you can start fortifying all of your magic attributes, all things that attribute to your willpower, because you're going to want to instant cast. You're going to want to keep firing off those destruction spells as quick as possible, especially if you're planning on playing on very hard, because we're going to get to very hard mode. I'm just waiting. I want a heavily fortified crazy character before I switch that from novice. We're not doing that. I'm a smart Elder Scrolls player. The game does not play me. I play the game. Okay? I'm telling you, Todd is all about the mousetraps. He will keep you chasing the cheese forever. So if you guys want to try that on hard mode and you're wondering why things are moving so slow for you, it's because it's like when you're in high school and you get the chance to be in advanced placement or honors, but you don't realize that, hey, guess what? CP still gets honors during graduation as long as they have A's. Okay, right. You were pushing yourself for what reason? Okay. Next thing is agility. So agility is your dagger, short swords, your bows, your maximum fatigue, and it's how quickly you regenerate. So if you are someone who likes to swing your sword, you like to swing your battle hammer, having agility is something that you actually want. So based off of what you're building your character, I would recommend that you at least try to boost that, or at some point you start building your agility, because you might wonder why your character just isn't doing what you want your character to do. It's because your agility is low. You're not versatile. Speed determines how fast you move. Don't let this trick you. Your speed can go up, and it can go up fast. You just want to always attribute some of your points to it. And I'm going to talk about the leveling of the attributes. Endurance. So endurance is increasing of your maximum health and defines how quickly you regenerate health out of combat. So I have mine at 108. I mean, like I said, all these are heavily fortified too. I have mine at 108 though, because for me, it's a matter of, I like being able to move. I just like being able to move like the wind. I like to get my health back real fast. It's like having a character with heavy agility and heavy endurance and speed. The Oblivion gates are going to be nothing to you. So endurance, you're going to want to definitely keep your eyes on it, because I keep a lot of health on me. I keep like 40, 50 strong potions on me, whether it's sorcery or health potions, but is like no need for them. So I actually just recently dropped them off, because when you have restoration 100, it's no reason to even bother with it anymore. Personality. So this is that speechcraft and all that. And guys, honestly, everything that you get that's a gift from an NPC usually has some type of speechcraft or some type of personality fortification. So as long as you do those faction and main quest when you're a high level, you're going to farm heavy stuff that's going to give you personality boosts. If you're out there doing the armor farm, you're going to, in the mercantile farm, in the gear farm, like your light and heavy. If you're doing all of that, you're going to have no problem getting gear that might be enchanted with speechcraft or personality. And then, of course, there's luck. My luck is 81. It's fortified as well. And affects your skills, having an effect on everything you do. So I'm not sure exactly how luck works, but at the end of the day, I know I'm just popping people, blowing them away, chopping them down, shocking them into walls. I'm doing all types of stuff. So whatever I'm doing, I'm feeling pretty lucky. So also try to fortify your luck as much as you can. I noticed luck can only go up by 2 at a certain point, or always only went up by 2. And it takes like 3 extra points. It's weird, but we're going to discuss that. All in all, none of it feels broken. It's the regular schmegular. If any of them are being drained, you can anywhere but Anvil, because if you don't want to activate the Knights of the Nine quest, you're going to want to, like me, you're going to want to just stay away from Anvil's chapel. But everywhere else, you can go to the Nine Divines shrine in the middle, and it's huge, can't miss it in each of them, in each of the chapels. And you can, if anything's being drained, you can be blessed by the Nine Divines. And that'll restore your attributes back to you. So I do that often. And that's also why I opted out of being a vampire. I didn't want anything being drained at all. And I thought that was also something silly, because if I become a vampire, I would want to play it like Skyrim. And the fact that they didn't give me a 2-hand in here, I felt like, dual wielding. I felt like they weren't going to give us the vampire werewolf perk trees or the transformation where you can fly. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to opt out of that experience. So there's nothing draining my skills. And if you don't want anything to drain your skills, you want a regular experience, you can play the game without being a vampire. This will be mentioned again, so leave that in the back of your head. Next thing is all my major skills. So my blade is 61, my alteration's 100, destruction 100, illusion 100, mysticism 100, marksman 35, and my sneak is 81. My minor skills are armor 55, athletics 70, block 33, blunt 24, hand-to-hand 41, heavy armor 37, alchemy 54, conjuration 100, restoration 100, acrobatics 80, light armor 55, mercantile 100, security 88, speechcraft 37. Basically, what this means is that I have a pretty well-rounded character. Marksman being one of my major skills, that's extremely low because at first, let me talk to you guys about this. In the old game, you had to only your major skills attributed to your leveling. Here, all your skills attribute to your leveling. So don't be concerned about which one you're not leveling up. But I saved Marksman specifically for end game content to level to farm it. Speechcraft, heavy armor, and block are my lowest. Each of them are sitting at 37, but you see how it's equal? My second lowest, light armor, alchemy, hand-to-hand, armor, I'll put, because that's in 55. So that's all in the 50s. It's one of the things where those are just the skills that I use the least and I've farmed the least at this moment. My highest skills are going to be all my magic, my mercantile, those are all 100. My acrobatics is 80. And by all magic, I mean all magic. I don't think nothing is sitting below. I'm checking right now and I don't see any yet. Everything is 100 for all magic. Security, I believe, is fortified, but I can't tell on this menu. That's the other thing. Usually that glows green or it subtracts and is red if you have any fortifications or any drains. But I don't see that. So I don't know if that's something that where I just don't have anything that would, but I'm pretty sure I have this. Yeah, I have the skeleton kill me. So I don't know if that fortifies my security somewhat, but I'm most likely also wearing other security fortifications. So that's left up to if you guys discover on your own if you're having any issues or any bugs. So next we're going to get to factions. The Thieves Guild, I'm the Gray Fox. Playing the Thieves Guild over was very fun. It was probably like the funnest mission. This time I did get to keep the Springjack shoes. I didn't wear them during the fall. So that was cool. I used them through the main quest, through other quests for factions, and I also used them in the Shivering Isles. They were the shoes that I wore to the Shivering Isles. Those of you that don't know what the shoes do, the Gray Fox will have you pick up these shoes that will have you jump 50 plus for your acrobatics or whatever. Yeah. So you'll be able to basically jump anywhere in the game while still leveling your acrobatics. It's genius. And it's probably to be my favorite part of the mission. The era of extraction is my least favorite part of the mission for the ultimate heist. I think it's a very bugged. It was bugged in the past and it's bugged now. I even had because the NPCs, the enemies don't stop following you. I even had a whatchamacallit follow me back into the castle. I got lost a couple times, which is unusual. I was like, bro, I've played this so many times, but I was like, this is just leave it up to Beaver. It's the same shit, just on a different system. So yeah, the Gray Fox experience is going to be diligent. You're going to like it. You get to do everything exactly the way it was with better graphics. Dark Brotherhood, the Listener. So of course you get Shadowmere out the deal. But the outfit, my Listener outfit, was bugged for most of the part. But still did its fortifications very well. The dinner party, I just went in and murdered everyone when they were in the bed. I'm going to be honest. I went in and I murdered everyone in there. I didn't even give them a second to talk to each other, none of that. And that's actually the stream that got the most views. So I know everybody loves the Dark Brotherhood. When you play it, just take your time with it. Go through all the dialogues. You have an opportunity to become a vampire there. You also have an opportunity in the arena. We'll talk about that. for the most part too, I wore my my gear from them, versus that became like my gear going into the Thieves Guild, you know? So that's the reason it's kind of important how to operate these factions. I'm going to go in the order they should go in after I talk about all of them. The arena. So the arena is good for beginning. Begin your farm at the arena. Go farm your septims. Go farm your skills. Go farm your level. I think you should be walking out the arena about level 10 or 12. You should be picking up Dwarven armor by that time. Fighters Guild Master. The Fighters Guild, you know, in the past, it didn't get my goat ever. It was kind of like the most boring out of all of the factions. But Blackwood Company was good. The dialogue was good. And I think it's Bleak Rock Cave, is it? No, it's not. I don't know what cave it is, but don't get lost in it. It's the one with the trolls. There's always going to be one troll when you walk right into the cave up to the left. But the cave is so dark and the graphics are kind of buggy in the cave. You're going to want to have life detection on. When you go in there, it's the importance of, you know, having your Mages Guild stuff opened up, having your willpower and all that good to go. It's the reason you need to be farming your level right now. If you are currently walking into the game at this moment, instead of farming these things. The Fighters Guild, because at this point, you want to farm the best of gear throughout the Fighters Guild. You want to get the best gear of everywhere you're going, and you want to just eat through things. Mages Guild, Archmage. So the Archmage and the Fighters Guild, it all goes the same way. And I pretty much have the same critique. It was the same things, better graphics. Some things were bugged, but you just do the same things that you did in the past to unbug them. Overall, the Mages Guild wasn't the most favorite of my quests, but it did open up some of the things about my new beliefs on the Elder Scrolls 6. I noticed that they did change some things with the dialogue. Tarmina especially, because she likes studying. She's fascinated by the Daedric studies, so by the princes in their realms. So basically we learn, and we learn this through Martin too, but you learn this through the Mages Guild, is that Mankar Cameron is going to try and come back. And that's what the Worm Cult is. And that's what you're stopping. If you played ESO, it's canon lore that a lot of people, if you're moving from ESO and now you're getting the chance to play Oblivion because you didn't play it before, but ESO is where you started, or Skyrim is where you started. It's a great refresher on Tamriel actually being Lorcan. And Mehrunes Dagon is actually not so bad of a guy, even though he's burning up people's corpses and mutilating them and letting his Dremora just destroy everything, and his Mythic Dawn followers just destroy everything. You will learn that it requires the blood of an Aedra and a Daedra to open these great gates. And that can also be seen in ESO, where Moloch Bal opens the anchors. So these, whatever happens, like whoever's doing usually some magic or some work, and you'll see that in Skyrim in the College of Winterhold, where they're like, nah, bro, we have to keep magic here because you can't, it's frowned upon. And certain, you know, it's like you get to see why things were frowned upon, because things just kept getting worse as far as magic users. Necromancy was running deep throughout after the Third Era. And I don't know if it's just because mortals just keep wanting to summon Daedric princes, but I'm going to tell you my theory at the end of this video of which Daedric god is really going to be in the game. I was saying Hermaeus Mora, but hear me out. I'm going to give you the person at the end. The Daedric prince. Next is the Blades Night Sister. So the Blades, I didn't do the main quest till after I beat all the other factions. But had I have remembered about getting the Blades armor for free when you get up to Cloud Ruler Temple, I probably would have went up there and copped the katana from them. The best part, I think, for me was the mission to Sanctor, where you have to cleanse and help, cleanse the Sanctor of the demonic presence that's there. And I mean, it's there. That place is infested. But you get to see the story of the first blades that were trapped, and it's kind of heartbreaking. For me, Blades and I'm going to talk about the video game Blades. One of Todd, he called it his last little love letter. It's an app. You can download it on your iPad or your phone whether you have Android or iPhone, you can download. It's called Blades. It's free. You can buy stuff in it. There's a store and all that on there. But for the most part, it's a free game that you can level through, and they give you the background of the Blades. And of course, you deal with the Blades in ESO. You deal with the Blades in Skyrim. So the Blades always protect the Emperor. So one of the things for me that I like is that I kept Barrius alive this time. None of my Blades really died. Although I'm still walking around looking for Joffrey. He might have died in the battle. He might have died in the Siege of Bruma. The Knights of the White Stallion, Knight Errant, and the Knights of the Thorn, Honorary Knight. So Knights of Thorn, Honorary Knight you're going to come across that in the main quest when you are aid for Bruma. You're going to come across that, and the thing about the Knights of Thorn is it's a cool mission because you're rescuing the kid, the Dark Elf, the Count's kid. But if he dies, it sucks. So try to save him. What you do is just come out, jump down the mountain. Don't go through the cave, jump down the mountain. All the way down, remember? That's why we talked about those acrobatics. Jump all the way down the mountain, get down there, and the kid is right down there. And just hear me out. Run through and try not to get him killed. All right. Knights of the White Stallion. Knight Errant. Mazoga the Orc. Okay. So you're going to go to Lewin, and she wants to be called Sir Knight. I think what they were trying to show us was like the first transgender type stuff. I don't know. It was weird. But she wanted to be called Sir Knight, and you need to go and handle the Black Bow Bandits with her, basically. I don't even remember the full. I skipped through most of it because I knew she was gonna keep getting on my nerves if I didn't. She's kind of like the Glather of Lewin, and she's posted up in the castle, so it's the worst part if you have things going on. You'll be in Lewin's castle. We're gonna talk about the castles because some dark things happen in Lewin, and I think Breville, and there's one other castle, but Skingrad. Like, what? Vampires, sorcerers. You'll find out through the Mages Guild that the one dude, they're like definitely devil worshippers when you go and you have to steal from him for the era of extraction. Like, Safest Aaron, the sorcerer, he's definitely a devil worshipper. Can't tell me any different. Order of the Dragon, Champion of Cyrodiil. So the best part about Order of the Dragon and beating the main quest is, and I have to go get my gear now. That's what I'm on for right now. You're going to get the Imperial armor, and that stuff is sexy. That's what Martin wears during the battle. Court of Madness, Mad God. Yes, I am the Mad God. Yes, I achieved it. It was the last achievement that I needed to get, and he's my favorite god, y'all. Sheogorath he's the reason I play the Elder Scrolls. I'm gonna be honest. Let's be honest. I wouldn't, if they didn't come out with the Shivering Isles when they did in 2008, you probably would have lost me. Even though the base game was brilliant, I probably wouldn't have replayed it so many times. I always wanted to go back to Shivering Isles. I've talked about this for at least a decade, at least 15 years. I kept saying it for ESO. I said, when are you guys going to make the Shivering Isles traversable? When are we going to be able to walk it? And, they gave me High Isles. They gave me the West Weald. They gave me Apocrypha, and I stated that I didn't want to go anywhere else with Himeris Mora because Solston was very difficult in Skyrim, and the experience wasn't exactly enjoyable the first time. So now we're going to go over details, and then I might take you guys on a little trip for like 7 more minutes of your time. And thank you if you made it this far. I know that was a lot to go over, but I just want you to get adjusted to my character. I'm going to make a lot of videos. I'm streaming live right now, and you can check me out. Days past 160, and these are the details that you can check out. They're all the way at the end of character on your list, and if you ever want to see them. So days past 166, active quest 17, quest completed 137, skill increases 1056, training sessions 52. Training sessions, let's talk about that. Training sessions are important because during your leveling process, you want to go get trained by someone at some point in time. And when you get to the master level skills, you'll be able to go and seek out master level training, which is a little quest that you can pick up. Skill increases 1056, training sessions 52, novice skills 1. So I've got 1 novice skill left to go. Apprentice skills 5, journeyman skills 5, expert skills 3, master skills 7. You want to get as many master skills as you can, because that means you're entering end game loot, end game gear farming. And if you do that too early, your gear is going to be trash, and you might be one of these people that are complaining about having trash gear when you're going through things finally. Bounty 0, Shivering Isles Bounty 0, Fame 126, and Infamy 62. Days jailed 0, items stolen 1,683. And in my defense, when I was fencing with the Thieves Guild, I fenced over like 5,000 septums, which you only have to fence like 1,500, but I was being excessive because I wanted the game to just keep giving me the quest when I would go to the Imperial City. I would just wait and wait and wait and wait. And that made this process with the Thieves Guild very fast for me. Items, because what you want to do is you want to fence 1,500 septums. Items, pickpocketed 2, trespasses 0. Honestly, guys, I just haven't been caught. Assaults 262, murders 20, horses stolen 11, largest bounty 1,160. But I had money to pay my shit. Like, it didn't matter. Creatures killed 1,173, people killed 759, places found 267, locks picked 223, locks broken 100. I didn't get the skeleton key early enough, guys. I was so lazy at the beginning. I was like, let me go get the fucking skeleton key. So you guys, worshippers of Nocturnal, which it is towards the end of the video, so it's time for me to tell you who I think is going to rue the day in the Elder Scrolls 6. I think it's Nocturnal. Hear me out, because everybody worships her. Everybody needs her. And a lot depends on her. And she has some of the best artifacts that are actually useful in the game. She's kind of like Hummerus more in the fact that she's always been around you. You just didn't realize it. And I also noticed that in the Mages Guild, when you go to pick these artifacts up in the end, one of the people, it's a broken statue of Nocturnal when you pull up to get them. They took special artifacts that were really dangerous to be worshipped in the depths of where their followings were. So they're definitely necromancers too that follow her. So we'll see probably a lot of conflict. I know that's completely different than Hummerus More being in game, right? Souls trapped 14. I personally just wasn't out there trapping souls. Ingredients eaten 1,637. Potions made 91. I have more luck eating the ingredients and leveling up my alchemy than I do potions making right now. Oblivion Gate shut 19. And I only shut that amount because I was really ready to get to the Shivering Isles. It wasn't a rush, and don't rush. If you guys want, shut 1,000 of them. Horses owned 0. Guys, I own Shadowmere. I own that horse in Bruma. I just never bought a horse. I'm not about to sit here and buy a horse when I know I got free horses coming. Stores invested in 13. That's my number. Books read 383. Skill books read 22. Artifacts found 2. In my defense, I have not done any of the Daedric quests like that. I only did what I had to do for the main quest because I wanted to save that for my miscellaneous lives. Hours slept 131. Hours waited 1,286. That's how I glitch the game, guys, by waiting. That's how, I don't wait like for time to just naturally go by. I will wait at the exact time that I'm supposed to be somewhere, or I will wait in between leveling. While I'm level farming, I just wait when your willpower is lower. Days as a vampire, 0 next. Bitten, 0. Like I said, I opted out of being a vampire with exception because I knew those perks weren't there. Jokes told, 74. I don't know why we keep track of this. Diseases contracted, 1, and Ninroots found, 22. Most bugs that I encountered with my character and my experience was mainly cosmetic. I noticed, though, you do want to save a lot because these bugs, like the game will shut off when you, like Starfield. It plays a lot like Starfield. And I don't know if that's just because they ran those mechanics with Starfield. And this is what I'm wondering is if this exact engine is what's in Starfield. I'm going to have to go look because it's incredible. They did a good job. It's a good turnover. I'm not disappointed at all. But they do have something that they could work on. It already had an update and could use another one. But in general, just build your character, take your time, don't rush through things. I know that this was a lot to take in for my first run through with you guys, but I wanted to download on you a lot, to give you a lot to think about. I want you to think over those attributes very hard, because in the next videos when I'm showing you my skill level farms, and if you guys tune into my Twitch, I'm again live right now, you'll be able to see what I'm doing to still farm and do my skills and see what bugs are ailing me. But I'm not going to talk too much shit because I actually like the way the game came out. I think they did an excellent job. I think we could do this a third time. Right. I think that we deserve another remaster. Yeah, Bethesda. All y'all, the other crew, I think that you could remaster this a third time, and I won't be angry about it. And I hope it doesn't take you another 23 years or whatever, 20 years to get this done. I love the way that it looks. I love the way that it feels. It's beautiful. And I really hope that other players get a chance to experience it this time. My character is a reflection of myself. She's very much me from beginning to end. I love the way that every element of the game that was customizable now really plays a role. So all those stats and all those attributes that I gave you, nothing's hard to level anymore. You can level them up. None of them are truly broken. In the main base game and the factions, we're all tailored to the original, and I like it. It's a great remaster of a game. Like I said before, this is something that is like a book. You know, it's like a movie, a really good one. And I was extremely nervous going into this. I did not think that the developer had the chops, but they made me eat my words. So respectfully, my rating as of right now, without the miscellaneous things completed, without the map fully mapped, but that's what we're on the way to, I would give the game a strong 9.5 out of 10. 10 being the best. It is very much a privilege to play it again. And I can tell that the people that create this game play it. So I'm excited to see what they do with the Elder Scrolls 6. Like I said, keep your eyes on Nocturnal. I think she has a lot to do with future endeavors and adventures. But to you, Wayfarer, just relax. Take your time and level your character. Build your own personality. Get solo again. A lot of games in the world right now are based off of multiplayer experiences that can apprehend someone's video game experience. For once, step in the paint by yourself and see how it is to go through the maze and get that cheese. or I'll pluck your eyes out. No, please like, share, subscribe, follow. If you made it here to the end and you listened to me and you heard about my attributes and stuff, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please subscribe. I am going to be making more videos about this. I honestly thought it was the end of the series. It kind of still feel like they're end gaming it for us. They're giving us the last of what they have in the treasure trove. So enjoy it, guys. It's a beautiful game. It gives pause to the moment for a second. Let time freeze again and take a dip into the Hill of Suicides, into the pools of Oblivion. I appreciate the game. Thank you, Virtuous. Thank you, Bethesda. Thank you to all the developers that worked really hard on this. I feel it. I feel the painstaking time and the decisions that you made. I am disappointed not getting to be able to dual wield. If you want to implement that in the game, if you want to make us happy, you want to make us shut up, I'm not complaining anyways, because I know the Elder Scrolls 6 isn't right around the corner. And I'm not going to lay on it like I wasn't laying on this. This was a pleasant surprise, guys. It was a birthday present, literally, because I'm poor. You guys don't understand. I'm a starving artist in New York City, I tell you what. And it's very difficult having kids and all that. I have to put all that towards responsibility. So this being on Game Pass, this being on Xbox and being available literally like 2 or 3 days after I found out is amazing. And that's why we don't believe rumors, folks. So we can be pleasantly surprised. And I know everyone that was carrying that arrogance and then got to carry that weight. You know, you said they couldn't do it and they did it. I didn't say they couldn't do it. I just said I was going to freak out if they didn't do it. All right, guys. Like, share, subscribe, or I will pluck your eyes out. Go play Oblivion Remastered.